G'day guys, John from Rural Co Water here with your weekly Southern Basin market update for the 8th of October. Well, as always, we start with storages, and we're seeing storages in the Southern Murray Darling Basin draw down to 66% at the moment. This is compared to 80% last year. Now, with no decent rain forecast over the next 8 days, and we're starting to see that irrigation demand ramp up, we expect this to be drawn down further, and without significant rainfall, they'll continue to be drawn down. The good news is, even though the irrigation demand is increasing, the Murray Darling Basin Authority are calling on water out of Murrumbidgee to satisfy a lot of that South Australian demand, and that'll preserve the water that's in the storages in the Murray. In the Goulburn, we're seeing an environmental flush come through, a spring fresh, and this is expected to continue right through to the middle of the month. Well, the temporary market's been pretty active over the last week. And without that rain and with lots of demand, we're seeing it be pretty volatile. And we've seen below choke across all those markets, Vic, SA and New South Wales, that prices really increased to the $315 to $320 a meg mark. And we're expecting that, there's lots of pressure on that market and that could continue to rise. In the Goulburn, the price is $285 to $290, again, driven by no rainfall. And above the choke, $265 to $270. And the Murrumbidgee, $260 to $265. In the forward market, we're seeing a fair bit of inquiry around intra-season forward for this year, just as irrigators look to secure their water needs and buffer themselves from any further allocation increases. And we're also starting to see demand in inter-season forwards into next year, as irrigators are starting to think about how they can give themselves security in that water space through into next year now. In the permanent market, we're seeing demand for high security and high reliability products continue. Lots of demand from buyers for those products. A little bit less for general security or low reliability. And the Aboriginal Water Entitlement Program is still out there as an option for sellers. EOI1 is the one we get lots of inquiry about at the moment. When's that going to happen? So the Commonwealth tell us that they're talking to the state irrigation infrastructure operators just to work out a plan of how they're going to do that. And as soon as they've worked it out, we expect them to come to market. Key dates coming up, the 10th of October is the next spill risk announcement. If we do see a low risk of spill declared in October, we'll see a fair bit of water, 40 to 50 gigs, come back into the Murray consumptive pool, which will provide a bit of a handbrake on allocation prices if that happens. But it may not happen. That may be pushed back by the regulator until later in the year. The other big date is the 15th of October, which will be our next allocation announcement. And it's also the Goulburn IVT day. So that's where submissions can be made from 7 in the morning till 2 p.m. And then the next day, the 16th, will be the announcement from the Water Registry of which parcels were approved out of that 31 gig of space that's available. For the most up-to-date advice and best, serious talks about your water, talk to your local Rural Co water broker. Thanks, have a good week.